Expand your vocabulary with our Core 2,000 Words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free English ebook before it's gone. Hi everybody, my name is Alicia. Welcome to the 2000 Core English Words and Phrases video series. Each lesson will help you learn new words, practice, and review what you've learned. Okay, let's get started. First is Internet access. Internet access. Internet access. Internet access refers to the connection from our device to the internet. So to have internet access means that you are able to access information online. Here's an example. I have internet access at work, home, and on the road. I have internet access at work, home, and on the road. I have internet access at work, home, and on the road. IP phone. IP phone. IP phone. IP stands for Internet Protocol. Internet Protocol phones are not really used so much in the US these days, but depending on your country and what kind of technology you use at your work or your school, you might see these kinds of phones. They have an internet connection. Here's an example. With an adapter, I can use my old phone as an IP phone over the internet. With an adapter, I can use my old phone as an IP phone over the internet. With an adapter, I can use my old phone as an IP phone over the internet. Public phone. Public phone. Public phone. A public phone is a phone that anyone in a city can use. You can find public phones usually at the corners of streets or on the sides of streets. You might also see them in places like train stations and bus stations. Usually, you have to pay some money to use a public phone. Here's an example. There are public phones in the airport. There are public phones in the airport. There are public phones in the airport. Local phone call. Local phone call. Local phone call. A local phone call is a phone call to a number that is close to the location where you are making the call from. Usually inside your country is considered a local phone call. Here's an example. I can make free local phone calls within my community on my home phone. I can make free local phone calls within my community on my home phone. I can make free local phone calls within my community on my home phone. Dial. 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 Dial can have a couple different uses, but today I want to talk about the verb use of dial. To dial means to push the numbers, usually on a phone that we use today. In old phones, it could also mean turning the rotary on a phone to choose a number. Basically, it means choosing a number on the phone. Here's an example. Dial 9 to get an outside line. Dial 9 to get an outside line. Dial 9 to get an outside line. Phone number. Phone number. Phone number. A phone number is the series of numbers that is connected to a phone. So when you want to call someone or call a company, you look for their phone number. Here's an example. The phone number is wrong. The phone number is wrong. The phone number is wrong. Operator. 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 Operator is a little bit of an old-fashioned word. It means the person who is working at the call center or the phone center. It could mean today someone who works at like a customer service center that connects you with someone else. Here's an example. The operator is talking with a customer. The operator is talking with a customer. The operator is talking with a customer. Long-distance call. Long-distance call. Long-distance call. A long-distance call is kind of the opposite of a local call. A long-distance call means you are calling someone who is very far away, like in another country, for example. These usually cost money. Here's an example. If you call someone out of town, it's usually a long-distance call. If you call someone out of town, it is usually a long-distance call. If you call someone out of town, it is usually a long-distance call. Evening. 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 Evening is the time between the afternoon and the night, usually from around 5 o'clock to perhaps 9 o'clock or so. Here's an example. After dinner, we enjoy our evening. After dinner, we enjoy our evening. After dinner, we enjoy our evening. Morning. 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 Morning refers to the time of day when the sun is coming up. So this could be from very early, maybe 5 o'clock or so, until usually about 11 o'clock or so, just before noon. Here's an example. Buses are very crowded in the morning. Buses are very crowded in the morning. Buses are very crowded in the morning. Let's review. I'm going to describe a word or phrase in English. See if you can remember it. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say the expression that means that you can get information online? Internet access. Internet access. And how to say the kind of old-fashioned phone that you might see from time to time that can connect to the internet. IP phone. IP phone. What about the expression that means a type of phone that anyone in the community can use for a little bit of money? Public phone. Public phone. Do you remember how to say the expression for a phone call to someone who is pretty close to you? Local phone call. Local phone call. Let's try the verb that means to choose a number on the phone. Dial. Dial. What about the expression that means the numbers that are assigned to a calling device? Phone number. Phone number. Now, let's see if you remember how to say the customer service person who might be working at a place like a call center. Operator. Operator. Another one. What about the type of phone call to someone who lives very far away from you, like in another country? Long-distance call. Long-distance call. Do you remember how to say the time of day from about 5 o'clock to perhaps 8 or 9 p.m.? Evening. Evening. And finally, do you remember how to talk about the first part of the day when the sun comes up from perhaps about 5 a.m. to maybe 11? Morning. Morning. Well done! See you next time. Bye!